I'm here in my hoop house. I just finished putting in a new carburetor with my son's gas go-kart. Really makes a difference when you put in something new. But I'm in here preparing 3 different beds in this small hoop house. It's about 40 feet long and it's about 15 feet wide. I've got 3 different beds, and what I do to prepare the beds, I don't have a BCS. I have this $140 Ryobi tiller. It doesn't till very deep, trust me. It's almost like a BCS. It just requires a lot of manual power. So here's what I do. I go through and I clear my walkways. And then what I do is I come through and I burn everything. I'll burn everything on here, and then I'll broad fork. After I broad fork, I'll come back in and I'll throw compost on top. Then I come back through with the tiller. Not much of a tiller, it's the Ryobi tiller. I'll come back through and I'll till each one of these beds. And then after that, I'll come back through and I'll rake it so it's flat, so it's ready to either seed or transplant. And then I'll take whatever residual soils in the walkway, I'll put that on top of the bed as well. So that's my secret. It's not much, but it does produce a lot of vegetables, especially lettuce. And that's what we'll be planting in here, is lettuce and kale. So without further ado, I'm gonna get to cracking because my son's on the go-kart and I actually want to ride it. So step 2, I've already gone through and I have I've actually, what I've done is I've kind of gone through and done my pathways as far as tilling up the soil and just breaking it up. I haven't used this in probably a month and a half since I've been on vacation. I know farmers are not supposed to take vacation, but I did. It's probably the last time. Well, I always take one in the summer, but anyway, I want to mention something about these flame weeders. Okay, first of all, never go into a Lowe's or a Home Depot and say you were looking for a flame weeder. They don't know what the heck you're talking about. What I will tell you is, this is a brush. Basically, it's a brush clearer. That's what they call it. Something like brush clearer, and I'll get the exact title and I'll pop up the image. But this was like 42 bucks. I looked up flame weeder on Amazon and some other places, and they're like 75 bucks. This one works perfect. So I bought me a propane tank, usually about 17 bucks, 16 to 18, sometimes 20, depending on where you're at. But thing about these things, they don't tell you how to necessarily hook them up. On the propane tanks, it's actually reversed. It's not lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, it's the other way. You actually got to spin it to the right, to the left, to actually lock it in there. See, they don't tell you this stuff when you're actually trying to do it. It's not until you figure it out that you're going the wrong way. I was always taught lefty-loosey, tighty-righty, right? Well, nobody told me on a propane tank it's the other way. I don't know if I should have been paying attention to my dad more or what, but so I never figured it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flame this really fast. Get a lot of this green stuff burnt and a lot of the dry stuff shredded up into basically ash. And that's kind of what you want. So turn it on. Pretty easy to start. I just carry this. I know eventually, again, I'm doing it on the cheap. Eventually I'm gonna have to buy a backpack and get a smaller propane tank. Until I cannot carry this thing, this is how I do it. So without further ado, this is the starter. That's another thing they don't tell you about. When you're starting this stuff, you actually have to use that. They don't tell you that. They just talk about this flame weeder. They don't tell you how to start it up. So I'll put it on low, just enough to hear it. Hear it? I heard it. I will say, of all the tools that I have learned and that are useful, this broad fork, I know it doesn't seem like it does a lot, but it actually does. So I will continue to broad fork until I'm dead. So Basically all you do is you press in and then just pop the soil up. Press in, pop the soil up. And you go about I usually go about 8 to 12 inches between soil. And you notice I'm walking on the bed because really there's no other way to do it. What I have learned is I made my hoop house, my sides, like Curtis Stone, and I bent my hoops. But what I noticed is I should have made about 4 feet high and then done my loop. Because this, when it gets tight, it's hard to do. So just pop in the soil, and I will go down and do all 3 beds. I'll probably speed this video up so you don't have to watch me doing this for the next 3 beds. I have broad forked everything, these 3 rows. Now, time to get the compost. Well, remember that carburetor and the gas go-kart? Well, it's still out there. He's still playing around. What I'm gonna do now is I've had this compost sitting out. This is leaf, what they call a gardener's choice. It's Southern Mulch. I don't mind saying the name because this is where I get most of my stuff from, even my rocks and my pebbles. But this is called gardener's choice. It's been sitting out for probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks. It's about as warm as you can get, and it's really moist. It's not as fine as I'd like, but I'm not gonna go through the process of trying to thin this out, especially when I'm laying it in the hoop house or in the field. So I will take this and I will do what most gardeners do. Use a $3 bucket at Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot. They all sell them. Use a $3 bucket, fill it up, and then I will lay it on the rows right there. And then I'll do some tilling or mixing, whatever you want to call it. Same thing. I've got my bucket of compost, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lightly sprinkle on all of these rows right there, just enough to where it mixes in really well. I usually do about 2 buckets for every 40-foot row, so that's about 10 gallons. That's a 5-gallon bucket. It's about 10 gallons for every 40 feet. Probably could get away with 50 feet, but that's just what I do. So that's what I'm gonna continue to do. Y'all can watch me. Just for the sake of time, I'm gonna get 2 buckets, okay? Thanks. I will go over some areas that I don't think got quite enough mulch, and sometimes I need to beef up some areas because they either got washed out or something happened, so that's why I go over it. Now here's the fun part. Now that tilling the stuff in, you'll get a show in a second. Some people call this tilling, some people call it mixing. You can call it whatever you want. The idea is to mix the soil with the compost, and basically to take the loose soil that you've broken up and to make it even smoother. So that's what I'm about to do. So enjoy. So the next step I have in making beds is I'll take basically a landscaper rake and I'll rake these smooth so that they're pretty much even on top. And then what I'll do is I'll go back through and I'll scrape off the pathways and put the rest of it on the bed. And then I'll come back over and I'll wet it, give it some water, and then I'll tarp it with my little holes in it. I'll show you that as well. I had to go get my square shovel. I hate doing the trails in the past with that curved one. This is much better. And now I'm gonna water. So this is the final stage right here. As you can see, the sun's gone down. It's pretty dark. It's not too dark. And I can still see what I'm doing, but it's hard for you to see what I'm doing. But that's okay, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my fabric, which has the holes in it, and I'm gonna roll this out now on each one of these beds. Basically, I'm protecting the moisture, keeping it moist, and then tomorrow, what I'll do is I'll come in here early in the morning and I'll just stake these. That way they don't fly away when the wind blows. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and roll these out now. So that's the second one. I'm gonna do this third one too, and I'm gonna run out here and have to go pull up one, but just wanna let you know, there's a purpose for using this fabric. I do not wanna have to mess with weeds once these things start growing. And it keeps it clean, it keeps the produce clean. One other thing, after you broadfork, don't step on your row. Don't step on it. Don't step on your raised bed. That's the worst thing you can do for it because you're compacting the soil. Remember, we want to have that soil light and airy so the roots have a way to grow, and compact the soil, they will not grow. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll this last one, and then I'm gonna call it a day. Tomorrow, there's no storm or no wind predicted tonight, so I'm not worried about it. Tomorrow morning, I will come in and I will stake these things, probably one for every 6 feet. Doesn't need much when it's in the hoop house. Probably run the sprinklers again. But anyway, let me finish up here.